Welcome back to the Sports News Analysis YouTube channel, where I'm always breaking down the hot sports topics of the day. My name is Mike. I'm continuing my 2013 NFL draft coverage with the needs analysis for the Denver Broncos, who hold the number 28 pick overall in the first round of the upcoming draft. The Broncos have 7 picks in all in the upcoming draft, 1 pick in rounds 1 through 7. The needs, as far as I see them for the Broncos, are sort of at the middle on defense, both at free safety and at the middle linebacker position. And then also, I see a big need for them to get a running back to sort of complement Willis McGahee and Noshawn Moreno. They got McGahee sort of on his last legs. Moreno a little bit inconsistent, sometimes injury prone. But as far as their first round pick, I think the Broncos should address their need at free safety that they have. By this time, I think Kenny Vaccaro, the top-rated safety in this class out of Texas, will be taken. But I think the Broncos get a very nice consolation prize in Eric Reed here late in the first round. Eric Reed was a first-round talent the whole season. There's some concerns about the fact that he plays a little bit out of control, maybe takes too many penalties. But I think the fact that he's too aggressive is something they can harness and something they could work with him on, and he can be a really valuable contributor for the Broncos from day one. He's a very experienced player in the SEC. You recall I made that big interception against Alabama 2 years ago when they beat the Tide during the regular season. So Eric Reed's not a stranger to big games. He has plenty of experience, and I like him as a fit here for the Broncos at the end of the first round. As far as the second round goes, I think this is where the Broncos, again, address their need at middle linebacker. I think you'll have guys like Kiko Alonso from Oregon be available at this time. Also, Nico Johnson from Alabama should be available here at the back end of the second round. I think Manti Te'o, although he's probably slipped, I think he's taken by this point. I certainly think Alec Ogletree and Kevin Minter are taken at this point. So about that back end of the second round, I think you can get a guy like Alonso. You can get a guy like a Nico Johnson coming from that pro system that Nick Saban runs down there in Tuscaloosa, and really, again, get a nice fit for what they need in Denver at that middle linebacker position. In the third round at running back is where I think the Broncos can get a great value. I think if teams are looking for a running back in the late second, third, and fourth round, I think they're going to get steals because you got some very quality college players that'll be lurking there in the third round, whether it's a Jonathan Franklin from UCLA, a Stephen Taylor from Stanford, maybe even Monty Ball from Wisconsin. These are guys that are going to be there most likely in round 3, end of round 2, and into round 3 that I think the Broncos could definitely use. I think they would probably err on the side of a Jonathan Franklin a little bit more so because I think he's a little more adept at catching passes out of the backfield than maybe a Stephen Taylor and a Monty Ball are. But I don't think the Broncos, again, could go wrong with either one of those 3 guys to join their backfield along with McGahee and Noshawn Moreno. I think where the Broncos are picking and based on their needs, I think they get some pretty nice players sort of falling in their lap here for this draft. And, with the rest of the picks, I think they can add some depth on the defensive front, some players, some space eaters to occupy some bodies in between Von Miller and Elvis Dumervil. I think they can also, probably replenish their cornerback crops with some younger cornerbacks if they choose to as well. But some of these needs could be addressed during free agency as well. But I see the biggest needs for them again. I see them going free safety in the first round. Free safety in the first round, inside linebacker, middle linebacker in the second round, and then taking a running back in the third round. Let me know what you guys think of how I assess the needs here for the Broncos heading forward. It's going to be a big year for the Broncos, second year with Peyton Manning. A lot's going to be expected of the Broncos, especially after the disappointing loss they had last year at home in the divisional round to the Ravens. Let me know what you guys think of who I like the Broncos taking and where I like them taking them, basically. Hit me up in the YouTube comments. Hit me up on Twitter at SNewsAnalysis. And guys, I'm always posting videos to YouTube, mostly NFL, but college football, Major League Baseball. So subscribe to my channel, guys. Once you subscribe to my channel, once I upload videos, they'll upload directly to your feed here on YouTube. And always looking for a good debate in the comments. And thanks again for listening, and have a great night.